Of Hashem, Siyata Dishmaya, I wanted to give Musa Shmuz yesterday, I didn't manage. But I want to speak about Tzara'as, leprosy. We know that Tzara'as, leprosy in the Torah, there's few of them. It's on the body, on the hair, on the beard, on the house, on clothing. There's different types of leprosy. The Gemara in Erchin, page 16, says that the reason why Hashem brings Tzara'as, leprosy, on the body is because Ga'ava, naughtiness, and Lashon Hara, speaking slander, derogatory on somebody else, another Jew. So because a person has Gaiva, and really the foundation of Lashon Hara is Gaiva, is naughtiness. That's why a person speaks Lashon Hara. So Hashem says he gets a punishment to be separated. Badad Yeshev. In the Corona, the rabbi said that the reason why Hashem brought the Corona, since we saw the punishment was quarantine, kind of it's the same punishment of Tzara'as, you have to be quarantined alone. So they say it came from the Isa of Lashon Hara. We went to work on Lashon Hara, slandering. Tzara'as batim, on houses, on clothing. So on houses, the Gemara says that was for the benefit of the Jewish people. It says keneg, I like. Was for the benefit of people. Because the Goyim, the Canaanites that lived in Eretz Yisrael, used to hide the gold and silver and diamonds, precious things, inside the walls. So when they had to break the wall for Tzara'as, or leprosy of the homes, they found all those gold and diamonds and silver and good thing and merchandise which were expensive that they hid, the Amorim, the Canaanim hid in the walls and the houses of the land of Eretz Yisrael. Yes, as well. The question is why we don't have leprosy today. By Soito, a woman that she secludes with another man, and you have to take the woman and bring her to Beis HaMikdash. Soito, they stopped already in the middle or in the beginning of the second temple. It didn't work anymore. But they brought a pasuk from Job that it says there that how can you check your wife, a person's wife, if she didn't seclude and commit adultery with somebody else, where you, the men, are doing the same things? So there's no point of checking the woman when the man is the guy too. He goes along and looks at TikTok and he's doing the same things himself. So you expect your wife to be pure when you yourself not pure. What kind of thing is that? So that's why Eov and the prophet Job, it says that the whole miracle check of Soita stopped already in the second temple, beginning of the second temple, the end of the first temple. In the beginning of the second temple already stopped. It didn't work out. You took your wife, a person took his wife to the temple to check her. It has to be a miracle. They erased the parchment with the letters of Hashem, God's name. They put her into the water. She drank. She didn't blow up. Nothing happened to her. That miracle didn't happen. And Job says, you know why? Very simple. Because all the men were fooling around with women. So we talk about women fooling around, men fooling around, the same thing. It's in the same boat. So there's no point of checking. That's what it says on you. But why Tzara'as? But why leprosy is gone? Lashon Hara, we have loads of it. Gaiva, Gasus Haruach, we have loads of it. Nothing changed. And even more. So why we don't have today Tzara'as? In the Akdoma of the Tiferes Yisrael to Masechet Negoim, there is a tractate, a Mishnah tractate, about leprosy. It's called Negaim. In the Agdom of the Tiferes Yisrael and Negoim, he says that when he was a young boy, he met Reb Kiva Eger, and he asked Reb Kiva Eger, why leprosy Negoim stopped? And Reb Kiva Eger told him, I don't know. It's a good question, I don't know the answer. But if his Tiferes Yisrael became an old man, and he said, when I became an old man, I thought to myself a different answer. And his answer was that when somebody has leprosy, in order to become pure, you have to shave his eyebrows, his hair in the head, everywhere. Every hair which is revealed, you have to shave. You have to make a korban. There is a halacha. Can you shave? Can you have a shaving like we call in Israel the Marines? The Marines, you know the Marines shave. They shave like all around. In the middle, they have like a little I don't know what something jumping like a crown. Or Simpson, O.J. Simpson. There's Simpson like all, and then all the side is all being flat. Top is straight, and the sides all flat, zero. And the halacha is there's a negative commandment in the Torah. You're not have to do so. Not takifu pat roshchem. You have to have payas. Okay, we have the Hasidim, the Ashkenazim have long payas. We put it behind our hair when your kids. You don't have beards, so you put your payas outside to recognize you're Jewish, your Jewishness. So wear payas. Yeah, you get older, you have a little bit payas to grow, but can you do zero? No, you're not allowed. But a Metzora needs to do zero. You know who else needs to do zero? Besides Metzora? And we do it. No. A guy, when he wants to convert, ger, it says in the Ramot Ashkenazi that you have to shave his head and his ears like a Metzora. It's brought on the Ramot. You're there. But we are not casted to do so. And I asked Rabbi, what's his name? This Rabbi from Reb Nissim Karlitz's place. What's his name is? Rabbi, not Gross. The other one's connected to the Yeshiva. I forgot his name. Not this one. Whatever it is, I forgot his name. Why we don't do it today? The Chor, you have to do it. Like a person becomes a Jew, he's a goy Jew, he has tum'ah, like leprosy, he get rid of his tum'ah, now he has to shave everything. And Morad says like a galach. Since the goyim used to have long hair, we call it kuku. You know kuku? In Israel they call it kuku. Kuku. Kuku means crazy, right? But in Hebrew, kuku means long hair, and they have like a ponytail. And they put it and they tie it like the galachim, like the ministers of the goyim. Kuku. Yeah, chuka, kuku, whatever it is. So since the goyim have long hair, it represents tumah of Christianity and Avodah Zarah. So in Europe, the Ashkenazim, the Ramah brings it down, that in Europe, when somebody became Jewish, to shave his kuku, shave his hair. And not only that, they made it like Tzara'as, they shaved his eyebrows, everything. One of the reasons that Koirach, the Medrash says, why Koirach fought Moshe Rabbeinu? You know why? The Medrash says that when they wanted to make the Levim Kohanim, they shaved all his hair, all their hair. And Koirach was a big Talmid Chacham, not a Kohen Gadol. All Levim, they want to become Kohanim, so they bring a korban and they shave all their hair. So Korach was a big rabbi, big Talmid Chacham, the head of his tribe, of his Beis Av. He walks around, nobody recognizes him, like a person has a cancer. Everything falls off, the beard, the eyebrows, the hair and the head, nothing, right? Nothing. You look at your face, who's this guy? Can't recognize him, right? They couldn't recognize Korach. So he was shamed. He says, Moshe Rabbeinu wants to put me in shame. So he fought against Moshe Rabbeinu. So a guy, when he becomes Jewish, you shave his head, his beard, his head, his eyebrows. Metzora, one has leprosy, what do you have? You had gaiva. You know what I mean? This guy's no good. This guy's no good. He spoke slander and he had motiness. He had gaiva, gasus haruach. So what do you do for his tshuva? He shaved everything he has. He walks around, looks like a baby. Nobody knows this guy. Who is he? When David HaMelech sent 2 messengers to Ammon, Nachash Ammoni, when they came back, he wanted to shame them. What he did? He cut half the beard. And they stayed in Jericho, it says in the Novi, the prophet, they stayed in Jericho, they were ashamed to come back because they don't have a beard. And he made it tricky to cut half the beard. It was a shame, you don't have a beard. A Jewish man has a beard, right? You don't have a beard. You should imagine half your beard, all your beard is cut out, everything is cut out, shame. So a person that speaks Lashon Hara, Yad Gaiva, Yad Gasus Haruach, the punishment, not the punishment, the way to become pure is totally to shave all his hair. So the Tev Yisrael says, in my old age, he understood that how can we make this guy today, there's no Beis HaMikdash, cut all his hair and bypass the prohibition of Bal Takifu. You're not allowed to shave all your hair. The only reason you're allowed to do it for leprosy. And since today the Kohanim, the priests, are only Aminag, accustomed to be Kohanim, but the Chazok is blemished. Today the Jewish people, every Kohen is only Chazok, and not even strong Chazok, is a blemished Chazok. So a lot of people moved around. Our women were in control of the Goyim. We had pogroms, who knows what. To have 100% pure Kohanim, it's very hard to say we have. Although we know, not long ago, a couple of years ago, they made an international DNA of all the Kohanim, no matter where they come from. Sephardim, Ashkenazim, Yemenites, Moroccans, Iraqians, New Zealand's, English, American, Russian, Moroccans, just name it. I'm starting to repeat the names, but whatever Jews, where they come from, they made a DNA, and what they found, that all the Kohanim around the world, doesn't matter where they come from, all of them are the same DNA. Wow. Shock the world. What?
They share specific genes.
They share specific genes that only by Kohanim, only them have it on the entire world. Wow. Real. The Levim too, but Levim can marry converts. A Levi that marries a convert doesn't break his Levites. Kohen that marries a convert, his child's not a Kohen anymore. So the fact that you can make a breed and have a child Levi, it's very hard to check the DNA because they got mixed also with Goyim that converted. But Kohanim are not allowed to marry converts. So they only marry Jews. So there's special genes, the specific genes that they had, only Kohanim have, always stay. But we even roll that. The Kohanim today is only a chazaka and a weak chazaka. So the Yisrael said when he became old, he said maybe that's why we don't have leprosy today. Because since the Kohanim needs to shave their hair, everything you have to oiver isu of Bal Takifu. If they're not 100% Kohanim, how can you do that? So you want to remove an isu of Bal Takifu with the mitzvah of Tzara'as, you have to be for sure that the Tzara'as is Tzara'as and the Kohen is a Kohen. When the Kohen is only has Chazokah status, and even that it's with blemished, therefore he cannot do it. That's what he wanted to say. Oh, maybe it's okay. And then he said, but it's not a good answer. Because what about Tzara'as of clothing? And Tzara'as of houses? There, I don't have a problem of Bal Takifu. So you want to say maybe the chazok of Kohanim is not enough. Is not enough to take money out of somebody else.
But with this example, it is now the DNA. No?
Okay, so like Yuchos in DNA, can you rely halachically on DNA? Let's say somebody dies and somebody brings a DNA test that he's a child, or he's a relative that guy does no children, and he brings a DNA test that he's a child, he's a relative that he can inherit. Is enough to inherit DNA? It's enough for the Goyim. No, even the Goyim, the courts of Goyim don't consider DNA as 100% proof. It's a raglaim ladova. Raglaim means it's a circumstantial evidence, which means they added to the proof. It's not a solely proof. Yes.
There's a story of a man who had a daughter, and his wife, before she passed away, said, "The daughter's not yours." So he did a DNA test, and he asked Rabbi Yash if he could be.
It's not believed.
Yeah.
It's not believed. It's a different problem. The father is not believed to say he's not my child only in the time of birth or before his chazok.
Yeah.
Then he can recognize not his child, his child.
Rabbi Yash said not to do the DNA test because of reasons, because of Lamdic reasons he couldn't trust the wife on that. She said that
Okay.
it wasn't her son.
You don't believe. Okay. It's true. But it's not what I want. I want to get is to the point, why don't we have leprosy today? That was the question of the Tiferet Yisrael. Then he asked Reb Kiva, he goes, I don't know. Then he gave his own answer, but he gets stuck with Baltakifu, is only Chazokah, so why not Bgodim and Batins? He said, even then, I'm going to Chazan enough of Chazokah to moitzi money out of it. But there's a medrash.
In the house?
There's a medrash that, yes, what do you want to say, Rabbi?
I have a chidush.
Yes.
It says
Before. Yechezkel, you want to say chidush?
No, in the house, you need to break the wall.
Yes, whatever says in Torah. Did you did Steinweg all the time this week? Did you review the parasha twice this week? So you know.
Yeah.
Good. Yes, Ramesh.
it says הצרוע שיהיה בו נגע,
Yes.
בגודו ויופרו, וראש יהיה פרוע. מה זה ראש יהיה פרוע?
Yes.
So מחלק את זה, הם יכולים להיות קודם. או היה סגור נגע, או היה סלב גילוי ראש.
Okay.
So אלה, today, why they don't do this? But they don't keep פנקס עוד today.
Okay, but that's not a good answer. The Medrash says, they bring a posuk. The Medrash brings a posuk, Medrash Rabbah, many psukim, and they say like this. They bring a posuk that leprosy is for the benefit zechus l'Yisrael. It's a zechus, which means for a person to get a direction from Hashem that he needs to do tshuva, and what he needs to tshuva on, you need to have a zechus for it. That's what it says in the Medrash. And the Yosef says, although the Gemara, the Medrash said in Nigei Batim, it really we learn from all Nigei Odom, which is a zechus. Which means, in order for the Jewish people to have leprosy, and for the person to have leprosy, you need to have a merit that God relates to you directly. But today we know, the Sefer Hasidim says, that he divided all the 613 mitzvahs to the person's body. Person doesn't put on tefillin, means he has to do tshuva in his body. And if he gets hurt in his body, he has to think, maybe I didn't do enough mitzvah of tefillin. Kibud avaim, mitzvahs of prayer with the heart. So the heart doesn't. I remember one time I went to Chaim Kanievsky. I said, my father's very sick. Bless his memory, he died. He said, what tshuva I need to do? So he asked me what problem he has. He says he has a heart failure and kidney failure. He says mischazik und davening. When you pray, you should pray better with your full heart. The family should pray with our full heart stronger. So we did it, and he became better, and after a while he died. But Hashem gives you a punishment in a certain limb, in a certain way, to reveal to you, because He loves you. Hashem just created the world and left us alone, raggeds, to figure out what we do wrong. Because we can't see our own problem. A person is a kohen, the Mishnah says, he cannot see his own leprosy. He needs another kohen. Because a person doesn't see his own problem. That's a rule. You don't see your own problem because you have bribery. The Meiri says a person's bribed so much. Why, when you go to the bathroom, you don't smell your own smell? Somebody else smell your smell. Because you bribe, you can't smell yourself. The Meiri says that shows the power of bribery. Bribery is so strong that a person doesn't smell himself. Everything's great. You smell, but it doesn't bother you because you sell. That's how much you love yourself. Shoichat. Shoichat is so strong, you don't smell yourself, and Adam going to get out, so you don't see your own problems. So, this is the point. The point is, according to the Medrash and according to Etz Yosef, why we have leprosy? Because leprosy is a direct relationship between man and God. It tells him what he's doing wrong. and he cleans them right away. You need to have a merit that Hashem will talk to you and relate to you and tell you your direction. What we do have, we have something lower. When a person gets hurt or pain or something in a certain limb, he has to figure out, or he gets a certain punish, certain thing, situation in his life. And as Rav Shafran, the Rav Shafran told me, it doesn't have to be the same limb. It means the person himself that gets the punishment or the situation, he understands himself, he can make his own association if he thinks straight. What this relates to him, that needs a change. And Hashem helps a person to be so. And that's what we have. We don't have leprosy today, but we have lower level of Hashem speaking to us, but Hashem still speaks to us. God is alive. It's not a dead God. There's a real God that is alive in our lives, and we can learn from it what to change and how to maneuver and what He wants from us. Good